Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to begin by saying Barakatah, Yahweh, Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Salutations to the sincere Aki. I'm pushing this truth with no due diligence and sincerity. A is the brother Awar from the GMS London camp. I want to go into the topic of betrayal briefly because, we're going to be betrayed in these last days. Yahawashi knew that he was going to be betrayed by Judas Iscariot. He knew he was going to catch hell at the hand of Jake, but he still just went with the program. He went with the Most Highest program and just dealt with what he had to deal with. But from the moment he came down on earth, met Peter and the other disciples, and met Judas, he knew what Judas's lot was going to be. Judas even had spiritual power, man, at one point. But ultimately, the Lord knew exactly what he was going to do, and he foretold it here, man. In John 13 and 21, Yahawashi predicts his betrayal. Let's read it. When Yahawashi had thus said, he was troubled in the spirit and testified and said, verily, verily, meaning truly, truly, I say unto you that one of you shall betray me. So he just called it out in the spirit. He didn't say who, but you can imagine when he said that, the disciples were looking at each other like, wait, what? Then the disciples looked at one another, doubting of whom he spake. They were thinking, is he talking about X? Is he talking about Y or Z? Now there was leaning on Yahawashi's bosom one of his disciples, whom Yahawashi loved. Simon Peter therefore beckoned to him that he should ask who it should be of whom he spake. He then lying on Yahawashi's breast said, Lord, unto him, Lord, who is it? Yahawashi answered, he it is to whom I shall give a sop, and when I have dipped it. And when he had dipped the sop, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. So, John was leaning on Yahawashi's bosom. That's why the scripture says in verse 23, whom Yahawashi loved. But the most highest choice was Peter, man. The most highest favorite was Peter, and ultimately Peter, being King David, is the head disciple anyway. But Yahawashi basically, man, said straight, he it is to whom I shall give a sop when I have dipped it. And when he had dipped the sop, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon, the zealot. And after he gave the sop, and after the sop, Satan entered into him. Then said Yahawashi unto him, that thou doest, do quickly. So Satan, the spirit of Satan, jumped into Judas at that very point. And Yahawashi basically told him, do what you got to do, man. Now, no man at the table knew for what intent he spake this unto him. So none of them had any idea. Yahawashi made a statement that he was going to be betrayed. He told Judas to do what he had to do quickly. And everyone was looking like, what the hell's going on here? For some of them thought because Judas had the bag that Yahawashi had said unto him, buy those things that we have need of against the feast, or that he should give something to the poor. He then, having received the sop, went out immediately, and it was night. Therefore, when he was gone out, Yahawashi said, now is the Son of Man glorified, and Yahweh is glorified in him. If Yahweh be glorified in him, Yahweh shall also glory him in himself, and shall straightway glorify him. Little children, yet a little while I am with you. You shall seek me, and as I said unto the Jews, whither I go, you cannot come. So now I say unto you, a new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another, as I have loved you, that you also love one another. Yahawashi knew ultimately he was going to have to suffer at the hands of the Jews, die, and ultimately go into the spiritual realm, man. And look at this, verse 36. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, whither thou goest? Yahawashi answered him, whither I go, thou canst not follow me, but thou shalt follow me afterwards. Look deep, man. Yahawashi was ultimately, man, going to lay his life down, and he knew he was going to rise on the third day, go back into the spirit realm, and sit on the right hand side of the Father. But everything was in this order. Peter said unto him, Lord, why cannot I follow thee now? I will lay down my life for thy sake. Yahawashi answered him, wilt thou lay thy life down for my sake? Verily, verily, meaning truly, truly, I say unto thee, the cock shall not crow till thou hast denied me thrice. And you can imagine how zealous Peter was. He thought it wasn't going to happen. But guess what? As the Lord prophesied, it occurred, man, because Peter got pressed. There was one occasion where there was a young woman outside of the gates when Yahawashi was led in, and she walked up to Peter and said, "You look like one of those disciples. Are you affiliated with Yahawashi?" And Peter was guilty, but he said, "Nah, man." And there was two other, and the um crowd, the cock crow came in, and there was two other attempts also. But ultimately, Peter, at the end of the day, man, had a weak moment, But guess what? Yahawashi was betrayed and his men were tested, man. In the same way, when he was about to be crucified, there were many false witnesses. This is Matthew the 26th chapter, verse 58. But Peter followed him afar off onto the high priest's palace and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. So Peter was hiding himself, camouflaging himself. Now the chief priests and the elders and all the council sought false witness against Yahawashi to put him to death. So all the chief priests and the wicked elders of Israel and the council that was there were all coming with their fallacies and their stories to try to get Yahawashi killed. But none of their stories matched up, but found none. Yea, though many false witnesses came, yet they found none. At the last came two false witnesses, and said, "This fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God, and to build it in 3 days." And the high priest arose and said unto him, "Answerest thou nothing? What is it? What is it which these witness against thee?" And Yahawashi didn't say shit. It says, but Yahawashi held his peace. And the high priest answered him and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living power, Yahweh, that thou tell us whether thou be the anointed, the Mashiach, the son of Yahawashi. Yahawashi saith unto him, Thou hast said, nevertheless, I say unto you, hereafter shall you see the Son of Man coming. Hereafter shall you see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of the power and coming in the clouds of heaven. So Yahawashi told him straight, listen, you're gonna see the Son of the Most High, myself, come down, yeah. After you see the vision of me sitting by the right hand of the Father, is what he was telling that scoffer, man. Then the high priest rent his clothes, and he hath spoken blasphemy. What further need have we of witnesses? It says, Behold, now you have heard his blasphemy. What think ye? They answered and said, He is guilty of death. So they sectioned Yahawashi to death because ultimately they knew he was the truth, man. They knew he was the only deliverance for Israel, and ultimately our people hated him, man, because they were getting cut in the spirit. The scribes and the Pharisees had their deals with the Romans, and Yahawashi was calling them out on it, man. But at the end of the day, they weren't ready to deal. They just came and bear false witness. Now, the same thing is going to happen to us, Akim, in the time that we're living right now. And we got to be ready for that, because when the persecution comes, it's really going to come now. This is the book of Sirach, the 12th chapter, start from verse 9. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart. And that's facts. You can be going through something, and as long as you don't have your foundation in order, people at the end of the day are not going to go out their way to try and help you, because they're in survival mode themselves. You got to understand, we live in a world where energy is demonic, people are wicked, and the love of the Most High is not in these people, man. Hence why ultimately it's written in verse 10 of Sirach 12, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. That the same way that metal is always going to oxidize, these niggas are always going to be wicked in some shape or form. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass. So it's going to be like literally you cleaned, your looking glass, that you could see things 360, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Facts, meaning that ultimately they can't help themselves, man. You're always going to see why Jake are in particular positions, because their actions will do the talking, man. Like it says here, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Therefore, essentially, don't have any dealings with a snake. 2/3 of our people are nothing but serpents, whether they live in I don't know the Kensington, Chelsea, or Hackney, or wherever Jake are at. Hence why, to the best of your ability, where you're dealing with amicable individuals, be amicable, but understand that there's a lot of pagans here, man, on the side of the earth that are going to need to be destroyed. And Yahawashi, Yahawashi is coming to do exactly that. But like the scripture says, man, father and son are going to fight, mother and daughter. There's going to be a lot of contention in the air. Trust me. But the Lord Yahawashi is going to deliver his men through all of this hell. We're going to have men come up against us, false witness, vocab Malongs of the world, talking about, I saw them do X, Y, Z, and I saw them with this individual camp, trying to liken us to Islam, and all of this madness is going on out here. But we are the Israelites, man. We are not from the nation of Ishmael. We are from Israel, man. We're both Shemitic as a people, but we are of the chosen seed, man. And that's a fact. The Lord Yahawashi is about to reveal that, but beforehand, we're gonna have to go through hell, the time of Jacob's trouble, also, man. And you gotta understand, like, it's important, man, to make sure that you got connections. It's important to make sure that you deal with people amicably. The time that we're about to come into is gonna be a real testing time, man. You're gonna have literally people that you thought were your friends turn around, even within this thing of ours, turn around and deceive, man. Turn around and supplant. You got to make sure that in the spirit, man, you are ready for whatever the Lord is gonna have to make you deal with, whether that's death of family members, whether that's further immediate loss of the sort of small security that you have. The Lord will test you, man, and it's up to you to show your faith in Him by just letting go and allowing Him to do His thing. I hope this lesson has been edifying. Until the next time I say shalom. Until the next time I say shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Shem Kakadash Barakatam. Shalom.